Well, by now you're getting tired of doing area and perimeter, and the good news is we're not going to deal with it much anymore. We'll just come back to it once or twice a week, but not much. So today we're going to work to finish up adding and subtracting polynomials, which you're like, well, I already know how to combine like terms. Yep, you do. But you'll want to notice that this looks a lot different because it's got decimals. So if you haven't got a calculator, pause the video and go get one. According to this, it says the Yellowstone National Park has many different species in its boundaries. The number of the top 6 favorite animals in Yellowstone since 1995, when wolves were reintroduced, are represented by the polynomials below, and T is the number of years since 1995. So you'll notice this is the number of bears if we know how many years have passed since 1995. Fox, moose, eagles, badgers, and wolves. And even though these look really bad, they're just formulas using T as the independent variable. Okay? Write a polynomial in standard form. All that means is organized. You have done that. Standard form means that you put the largest power of T, then the next largest, and the next largest. So it's just an organization tool, okay? We want to represent the total number of eagles and fox in the park. The only thing we really need to know here is, what does total mean? Well, total means to add. So this is a fancy word sentence that means add the eagles formula to the fox formula. So that's what we're going to do. Eagles plus fox. And I know I'm going to need to line up my like terms. So eagles has the power of 2, and fox, oh, it also has a power of 2. So those will line up nicely. So eagles is 11.6t squared. You might put a hook on your t so that it doesn't look like a plus sign. 425. And then fox is t squared plus 1600. Now, when we add those together, this is not 0. This is an understood 1. Now, it's not going to be 11.7. Please be careful when dealing with decimals. We want to do, 11.6 plus 1 is 12.6. 12.6 t squared plus, oh, the reason this doesn't add together for t to the 4th, this little power counts how many t's are timesing each other. And right here, we're not multiplying, we are adding. So that's why the t squared stays t squared. Now, 1600 plus 425 on your calculator, or in your head if you prefer, is 2025. And that is it. You're done. How hard is that? Not as hard as you thought it would be. Okay. So now we're going to go on to 2, and it says, write a polynomial in standard form that represents how many more bears there are in the park than badgers. And the key word here is how many more. That means we're going to subtract. So we want to take bears minus badgers. Pause the video because you're going to need a highlighter after we get started. So if you don't have a highlighter or need to get one, do that now. So pause. Starting out, we're going to write bears minus badgers. And what we need to highlight happens to be right here where that minus sign is. Okay? When we have this minus sign with a polynomial, it doesn't just mean subtract. It really has a different meaning. I'm going to write it right here. The meaning is the word opposite. It really means we want to change the sign of the polynomials so that we can combine them. So change signs. That's usually the only mistake students make when subtraction is forgetting to change all the signs, okay? Now we're only going to change the signs on the badgers. So the bears, we're going to copy just normal. So bears, we have, it says 0.021 t to the power of 3 plus 1.8 t squared minus 250 t plus 1250. Now, the badgers, we need to change its sign for each term when we copy it, okay? Badger says 0.9 t squared. I need to line it up under t squared here, make it negative 0.9 t squared. Minus 176t becomes plus 176t minus 2,400. And again, I'm going to grab my highlighter and just highlight that to remind myself that's why these are different than what's written up in the table, because we have this opposite change signs. So now we just combine like terms. We don't have anything to combine here, so 0.021 t to the power of 3. And yes, I'm using my calculator because decimals need my help. So 1.8 minus 0.9 is 0.9. I'm going to put 0.9 so I can see that there's a decimal point. Negative 250 plus 176 is negative 74. 1,250 minus 2,400 is minus 1,150. That's it, done. So now your job is to turn off the video and do number 3 all by yourselves. And I'm not going to leave you the answers because I want to see what you think it is on Friday when I come back.